Okay.
दुबे सर शुरू कर सकते हैं आप
Okay.
बाय अनम्यूटिंग.
Good evening to all. Jain Saab wanted me to anchor this Thursday dialogue session. So I want to bring in a new format like we used to have in Rajghat every Wednesday, where I'll read something from history's writings and then we can have a dialogue around it. So today I'm going to read something from a book called The World Within. Uh, Many of you would be knowing that from 1939 to 1945, Christie was not allowed to speak publicly in USA. So they thought that he's a pacifist and the Second World War was going on. So he stayed in Ohio, but people singled him out and they went to him with their usual issues, the profound problems of life, and they used to have dialogue or interview with him. And during these periods, there were many other things that he did, but there are 90 interviews that he gave to individuals or a group of people, and they are compiled in a book called The World Within. I've just translated this book in Hindi, so I thought I'll start with this book. So I'm going to start with chapter 10 of this book, which says, A Different Standard of Living. This is a dialogue Krishna had with a medical practitioner, a doctor, and as usual, to protect the identity of the person who had come to him, he did not give his full name. So he called him Dr. A. So I'll just read it out to you. Dr. A said he had his practice and was making a lot of money, but was convinced he was not really curing. Little pills and colored water were not the real cures, though they gave temporary relief. He wanted to go in for the true healing. That would involve a different standard of living, to which he was indifferent, but his wife and family would object. And the breaking up of the family would ensure if he followed what he thought was right. Was it selfish on his part to yield to demands of the family? What was its responsibility? In building up and yielding to sensate values, are we not creating social catastrophes, wars, ruthlessness, and misery by having a high standard of living and giving emphasis to it? Are we not creating a mechanistic, barbarous world of cruelty, competition, and pride? This the doctor was clearly, at least for the moment, in yielding to the environment, whether of the family or of the civilization. He was responsible for the general misery and for his own particular misery. Realizing this, should he yield to the sensate demands of the family for more and more comfort, bigger and better cars, and all the rest of it? To what was he responsible? Was it selflessness or truly heal people, which would involve earning considerably less? This may bring about dissension in the family. But to what was he responsible? Was he himself capable of living a simple life, stripped of the outer paraphernalia and show, content with little, because inwardly he was at peace, rich in his understanding, full in his love? How, he asked, was he to arrive at these things? By right thinking, through self awareness? Without self knowledge, there is no right thinking. And without right thinking, there can be no peace, no love. I explained what was involved in this arduous task. Now, to keep the dialogue confined to what Krishnaji has talked about, I'll request Shakti ji to sum up what he understood by this passage that I read just now. So after Shakti ji has given his understanding, then we can move forward and take anybody's views or opinions or how you look at it. Shakti ji, please.
Thank you, sir. When I was reading this passage, this dialogue, what I received was this challenge that what sort of life one is living. Although Krishna ji is talking to a doctor, but a person in any profession can build up and yield sensate values. And what I feel that it's not question of understanding, it's more of receiving from this message of Krishnamurti, that as if I am asking myself that even after reading Krishnamurti, coming across Krishnamurti, I am living a life in which there are other priorities, and also this question of, at the end of this passage, about the right thinking through self-awareness. Without self-awareness, there is no right thinking, and without right thinking, there can be no peace. So here also I received that it's not question of being silent within. That may be a byproduct, but the basic thing is that how we watch things, what are our priorities, whether we listen or not. So all these questions, they came into my mind when I was reading this passage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shakti ji. Now the floor is open. Anybody can butt in and say, yes, Harshad bhai, unmute.
Yeah.
Unmute.
Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes.
One time in my culture class in Rishi Valley, I was talking about Buddha, that how Buddha left his family to meditate. And when I was telling this story, one girl, she said Buddha was selfish. I said, why do you say that Buddha was selfish? Then she said that if Buddha wanted to leave the palace, he should not have married, because he, he had the responsibility for his wife and child and the whole family kingdom. Then I felt that, yes, in a way, it is true. But I think Buddha had a greater responsibility, because if he was not clear in his mind, if there were conflicts while being in the palace as a king, how he can make his family happy and his kingdom happy. He had to find some clarity and he could do that only if he left the palace, because when he was in the palace, there were so many responsibilities on him and he was not getting enough time. So he left without telling his family. And then later on, he came back and he talked about how to live, and he talked with to many people. So what I feel in this case of the doctor, if the doctor was really clear in his mind what he wanted, and if he had the inner strength to stand alone, then he could really do the right thing, and he can also make his family happy, because as long as the doctor had conflicts about which how to live, he cannot make anybody happy, I feel. So our responsibility, I feel, is to be very clear about what we love to do. And then once we know what we love to do, then everything goes in the right way. That is what I found from my life also. That when I felt that I wanted to be a teacher, and I became a teacher, and then there was no conflict, though there is not much money or anything like that. So basically, what Krishnaji is saying, that one must have the clarity and ability to stand alone, because if you are not clear, your family will put pressure on you to do what they want to do, and the same with the society. So there have been people, extraordinary people like Mirabai. She did not care about her family, and she did what what she wanted to do. So that is what is required, is a real clarity, and then everything goes well. Thank you.
Thank you, Arshad bhai.
Mm.
Harshad bhai, I got an impression that uh, even if you have clarity, being with the family is the problem. Perhaps that is the impression I got from what you said. But if there is a,
Generally, yes, there is a responsibility, yes, to the family, children.
but I think if there is a clarity, then I know what my responsibility to the family is, and one can do that. Krishna was against organizations, but he created so many schools and all that. He used to visit all of them in his lifetime and give directions. For example, I was going through the archives of the school in Chennai, and he would ask Mrs. Prema Santhanam, what will the children eat? How will they go by the bus? Who will take them from the bus down and so on? Getting into so much details and all that. And only when he was satisfied from all angles, then he said, okay, you can start a school. Because these things were priority for him rather than money. So I think a man who has clarity, he says the right thinking about anything, then doesn't matter what kind of responsibility he has, whether he is married, unmarried. Of course, for common man like us, the family, of course, comes in the way of things of this kind. But for somebody who is really evolved, I think that's not a problem anymore. Just a viewpoint. Yeah. Harish ji, you want to say something? Unmute yourself.
Namaskar. Yeah, Namaskar. Uh, I must be forgiven for being late. First of all, I don't know. I have never read this book. I don't know. So, is this book written by? Krishnji is credited with this book, or what is it?
Yes, it is by Krishna. Yes.
By Krishnji. Okay. But one thing, was it published before by another title or something?
No. Let me explain. This book was published in 2014.
Okay.
It's a compilation of interviews that Krishna gave from 1939 to 45, when he was confined and not allowed to make any public talks in USA.
Okay.
So
Okay.
individuals came to him and he gave them interviews and all that with their own usual problems. So this was compiled and Mark Lee did it and it was published by KFA in
Okay. Uh-huh.
1914.
Okay. May I know what is the main topic? Means, is there any bone of contention? Like I heard Shakti Kumarji saying, and probably it will be fair enough to pick up the thread from there. Shakti ji, you said self-awareness. You emphasize the importance of self-awareness. Of course, self-awareness, awareness, choiceless awareness, attention, awareness of lack of attention, is attention, and all that is there, no doubt about it. And observation, all these words, and observer is the observed, or the observer is, or the observed is observer. All that is there in that. So let us stick to the word self-awareness. Of course, it is vital because what we learned from Krishnji, no matter how much we practice asana, pranayam, or charity work, or going to temple, it doesn't lead us anywhere. One is still in the realm of ignorance.
Can I intervene for a minute?
Yeah.
Since you were not there when I read the excerpt,
Okay.
I'll briefly tell you what it is all about.
Yes. Okay.
That will perhaps make the discussion more focused.
Okay.
A medical practitioner, a doctor came to K, and he said that he has a very good practice, but he feels that he's really not curing people. He's just giving medicines. And but his family doesn't want him to do anything else because there is so much money that he's earning, and he feels that he can't leave them, and there'll be differences in the family and so on. So what should he do? This is the question he asked. So Krishji talked about it, and then he says, if you have the right thinking, then everything from there will come out in the right direction. That is, the right thinking will lead to right action, self-knowledge and all that. So this is the problem. I mean, people who are well settled in life, and then Harshad Bhai gave the example of Buddha, and he had a princely life and all that. He, left out and came to find out because his personal exploration and urge were much more important than supporting a family. So this is the background. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all,
Or
I'm
you
very
would like
thankful.
to talk about it a little later so that.
No. One thing, I am ready with something, some words. I may be talking nonsense. It is a different thing. But I like the very idea of clear thinking. I am imagining, I am Krishnamurti, and a doctor has come to me with this. I am not curing people. My sense of clear thinking tells me one thing, or whatever, or that one thing contains so many things, and that I will, as a man of integrity, as a man of good intentions, I will tell this to all my patients. What is that? It is just like, and it may not be the right example. The government allows you to go on smoking as many cigarettes as you please. But the government on every pack has written, smoking is injurious to health. I will tell my patients that, yes, you are suffering. I know you are suffering and you need medicines. And take medicines by all means. But I would like you to regain your health in such a way that you don't need to come. And Dubeji and Harshad Bhai and Shakti ji and all my other friends, it is not that I am bragging, but I never tire of repeating in my class one thing. And if anybody care to watch one or two of my videos of English lessons, I tell them that you don't need to be taught by me, because here is a person who learned English alphabet in grade 6 and went on to be credited with 6 corrections in the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, the same dictionary which taught him what is the correct English, ironically. So I tell my students that you have to be a self-learner. Same way, I will treat the patients, and not only treat the patients, I may charge double fees than the market rate. I will tell my patients, look, my fees are double. Why it is double? Because I don't know about other doctors. But when I treat you, I also tell you how to avoid coming to doctors. And please forgive me for a slight digression. People are very critical of Baba Ramdev and all that for this or that reason. They may have a point also. But I tell, and he's a businessman selling medicines and all that. I tell them only one thing. Yes, absolutely right. I fully agree with you. But don't forget one thing. There was a time Baba Ramdev was going around the country, and I was surprised what Krishnaji had 2 yoga teachers, Desikachar, and even before that BK Iyengar. And then Nehruji allowed a yoga center to be set up in Lonavala, started by Kuvalyanand, which is called Kaivalya Dham. And Sripad Damodar Sath Valekar. I know at least 6 half a dozen yoga teachers, but they could not bring the yogasanas and pranayam, its importance to the masses. Baba Ramdev brought this to the masses. And Baba Ramdev never, at least I am not aware of, he doesn't say that no matter how much you practice my yoga, but you will nevertheless need my medicines. He never tells them. So I will charge my patients with no scruples, no guilty feeling, but I will tell them how to remain healthy, just like Ayurveda. Those who know Sanskrit and some Ayurveda, they say the science of Ayurveda is not the science of curing diseases. The science of Ayurveda is how to prolong your ayu. That means how to remain healthy. Because if you can manage to keep fit and healthy, the disease will not come. So that clear thinking, if I were a doctor, I would not have the confusion. And if I were in the shoes of Krishnji, I would say this to the doctor instead of just saying the clarity of thinking is important, this, that. But since I have not read the whole interview, I cannot give the final verdict. But yes, these thoughts came to my mind, which I am just sharing with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Dinesh ji, please go ahead.
Are you able to listen to me, sir?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, what I think in this case, we cannot make any standard norms for all the people. Most of the people in their life, basically, they may not be having a clear thinking, but they know what they want from their life and they go in that direction. It is only when some suffering comes or there are some obstacles in the life, then they go to any Krishnamurti or any guru or anybody who they feel, yeah, or they think that he is a knowledgeable person and he can guide us. Another thing, what I think is, okay, for people like us who may be having some conflict or some such kind of dilemma, what is right and what is wrong, then I think we have to see our own, there comes the Krishnamurti self-knowing. One has to know himself very clear, know himself, and then he has to decide. Here comes the right thinking. Then he can maintain a right balance between his own desires and wishes and this thing, and between his family. So he has to find, most of the people, I think, like us, here I am talking about the people like us, they have to maintain a proper balance between the situation, fact, what he is facing in life and what he thinks to be right. When he can maintain such balance, then only the harmony can be there, and then I think he can think of any other thing. Another thing here, I would like to quote Gita also. Gita is very clear. Gita says here that there are two things. one thing which you loves to do. One person loves to do one thing, and another thing is which is Shreya for him. Shreya means what suits to his situation as well as to society and to himself. So he has to find out a way where he can make a suitable balance between all these three things. Then only he can go. That's what Krishna has told to even Arjuna also, that in this particular situation, you may be thinking to go to to take sannyas, but you have to find, you have to also take care of your own inner this thing, parameters and inner your skills and all that. And at the same time, what situation you are facing. If you want to take sannyas, then also the Duryodhana will not spare you. He will kill you. So you have to fight. So you have to maintain a balance between what you love to do and what is best suitable in the particular situation. Krishnamurti, in other words, says that you see the fact and take the decision. So I think we cannot make any standard norm for all the persons that they should go in this direction. One has to know himself first, and then he has to take a suitable decision looking to the fact as well as his inner demands. Thank you. What you have to say, Dubeyji, on this?
I'll make a quick comments and then perhaps Harshad Bhai can take over. I fully agree with you that we can't make a standard norm for everyone because each one of us are different. But I think if we take decisions depending on the situation, then, then we are a very practical person. That's what I'll say. But I think we have to draw a line somewhere that I'll do this and not beyond. That is very important. That's what Krishnaji says, to stand alone. I'm not saying that we follow everything that Krishnaji says, because he is only a mirror. He said something and we have to question him as well. So I think any situation that comes, we must ask why this situation has come in my life. And as you yourself said, it's the situation of grave difficulties that one awakens and tries to look for some salvation, maybe through Gita, or we go to a temple, or we read Krishnamurti or whatever. So that is okay. I'm not saying that don't do this or do this. But I think we should question that. Where is it leading me to? Is it the right way that I was leading my life? Why I have made so many demands on my life where I have reached this stage? So I think these are questions which are best answered by ourselves. Nobody can give answers to us. And, I give them, I'm just digressing to give you my own example. I would have been very happy being in a normal, Hindu Brahmin family, following the traditions and all that. I have not come across Krishnaji's teachings because we accepted everything that was given to us. That was the kind of atmosphere in the family, but this is the way it is. This is the truth. But here comes a man and he says, well, there is a different way of living. Can you look at it? So that challenge was given by Krishna. So I think we should take that challenge and not accept what he's saying. He has himself said many times. I remember a dialogue in Brockwood where he says that, if you just listen to what Buddha or Krishna said, it doesn't mean anything because they are ashes for you. You have not tested it out in your life. Then one of the students got up and said, sir, what you are saying is also ashes because we have not tested it. He said, absolutely. This is also ashes. Test it out in your life. I'm just like a loudspeaker sending messages to you. Try to find out if it is true or not. So I think the entire onus of learning what is right, what is wrong is on us. And there I must caution that we should not be guided by what the society says, what my neighbor would say if I do this. My standing in the society will, people will start looking at me in a different way and so on. What I feel is the right, I do it, and I face the consequences. That's the way I look at it. I think Durga ji wants to say something. Let's hear her out.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I really appreciate this kind of a, inter-conversatory, like session, sir. We have all of us have been reading Krishnji, and it's important that, we need to voice our own, understandings or impressions, and we need to listen to others also. So that, some kind of a common understanding arises, we can all arrive at. Like, I think the previous speakers, all of them has contributed very well. And I also wish that, each and every person, should come out and it will be much better. Like everybody should speak, their mind and what they feel about it. I think we should be more open to listen to others, and we should be more open to speak also, sir. Yeah, that's that apart. Yeah, the extract, I have read the extract, but somehow I felt it is slightly, I don't know, this is my impression. It sounded a bit abrupt, sir. I don't know. Maybe the whole extract, if I read again, I may get the impression. I think, sir, these are kind of a quintessential, coming back to the word I used. We all go through, sir, and each situation, definitely situations may not be the same. Each situation is different from the other, and how each person faces the situation is different. Yeah, the person whom we are referring to, the doctor, yeah, definitely he has a lot of sensitivity in him, and he has the awareness of what is right and what is wrong and what he is doing. That kind of awareness that person has. I think, but somewhere I think there are no straight cut answers to anything, sir. We can't say that this is the ideal situation and everybody, and he has to listen to the people in the family also, and he has to listen to his conscience also. All these things. This is a perpetual learning, perpetual exploration we all go through every day. I think, as a as a person of awareness, or as a person of some kind of sensitivity. Everybody goes through these processes. Yeah, sensitivity is also important, and at the same time, not to have a conflict in the family, sir. Not to have a conflict with oneself also is important. Like, if you remain in the conflict throughout your life, not able to take the right action, then that's also is not leading anywhere. So I think this moment to moment, every situation, one needs to have the capacity to assess it. And, I think that's important, sir. Not to have conflict with oneself, not to have conflict in the family is also important. And at the same time, you want to listen to your conscience, which says something else. So that's also important, sir. I feel this is always a perpetual kind of a situation. Yeah, that's what I want to contribute. Let us listen out to other people also, and maybe I can contribute later on, sir. Thank you.
Can I say something here, sir?
Thank you, Durgaji. I just want to bring back the dialogue towards the main points that we wanted to discuss on. Basically, Krishnaji has said that can the sensate values, they guide our journey to what we consider the right action. This is very important. This is what he has questioned. And at the end, he explains what was involved in this arduous task, which he says is self-knowing. So can we restrict ourselves to this part only? May I request Mr. Ramarao to please go ahead and put forth your point? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I feel very happy to have a dialogue on the topic, because it is a practical question. I used to ask so many people only this question. It's a fact that depending on the person who learns, who lives, not the place, not the working, not the what he is doing, what he is working it. And if he wants to move one place to another place also, that question inwardly, it dwells how he handles the situation in the brain. That is also part of learning. And every corner of the people from the any place, from one transfer, one place to one place, one work to one work, one person to one person, every time like this activity will go on in my brain also. It's ultimately depending on how he deals, how he faces the situation, how he aware the activity, and he learns totally depending on the brain, totally depending on the person, not the circumstances. Circumstances, it is one type of opportunity to face that situation. If the situation is very tough enough, we can that one can understand that this is means like a strong rock like that. So from that stay also we can stay and we learn, we see our limitations, and we can live. We can learn also. That much I want to submit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, can I say something here?
Yes, please.
Sir, what I think, one has to differentiate between the need, what is his actual need, and what are his desires. What he wants, he has to make a suitable this thing balance between his life. He has to cater mainly his needs, and he should not go for his desires and wants, basically. So how best he can maintain that, and at the same time, as Krishnamurti said, at the same time, how he can maintain his brain cells fresh, new, and innocent. How he can remain innocent despite of all the struggles of life and this whatever conflict. Because what I think conflicts and struggle is a natural process in life. It will always be there. But how he can awaken his intelligence, and he can tackle this, and he can maintain the balance, that is important.
Yes, yes, I agree. Arshad Bhai wants to say something?
Yes, about the conflicts. How do we really look at conflict? One needs freedom to look, because when we are in conflict, our mind thinks one way or the other way, and it wastes a lot of energy, and we can't decide that we will not have conflict. So conflict will exist. I agree. And but people who are really interested, they can go beyond the opposites. And that is what actually the spiritual life or real living is, to rise above good and bad. That is what the philosophy also says. And for that, one requires a real passion to observe oneself. And for that, it requires freedom, curiosity, intensity, all that is required. And as far as Krishnamurti is concerned, he demanded a lot from teachers and students. And when he was talking with students, one student said that if I am working in a government office and other people are corrupt, I will also have to be corrupt. So Krishnaji says, don't be corrupt. But then he says, I will lose my job. So Krishnaji says, lose your job. Then the boy says, but then I can't live. Then Krishnamurti says, don't live. So he was very, very passionate, demanded a lot. But of course, we can't accept everything what we have to see where we stand. And about a friend, I had a friend and he did not want to marry, but his father said he must marry, because if he did not marry, the father said, I would commit suicide. So this friend wrote to me and said what he should do. He had this conflict with his father. I said, you do what you really feel like doing. But then he did not have the courage to stand alone, and he married, and then he wrote to me that he made a mistake. So that clarity is very difficult, I think, when there are conflicts, and one gets caught into that, and then the life becomes very unhappy throughout when you have to do something which you don't like. Uh, then we have to make all the compromise. Yeah. Okay. Finish.
Thank you, Arshad bhai. Anandji wants to say something. Welcome back, sir. We are seeing you after a very, very long time.
Yes, sir. It's nice to be back. Sir, I have two questions, sir. When I say conflict, how, am I free when I say that, sir? I say there should be freedom. The question is, when I look at conflict, is there freedom? When I say that, am I free? The next question is, how am I different or anybody else different from the doctor? When I say the doctor, I mean, he is giving into all the pleasurable activities. How am I or another person different from him? Is my question, sir.
Sir, I think you will have to answer yourself. We can't answer your question.
So, what I see, sir, we talk about the doctor, the other person. Am I different from the other?
Am I not, sir? Am I not?
This is a.
Anand, sir.
something-
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
Am I not different from you?
Sir, we are two different bodies, sir, but see, the content of consciousness is maybe a little different, but it comes from the same source. When I'm talking about the doctor,
Yes,
it is not the
source
doctor,
is
it is
same,
about
but-
myself.
But your traits are different, your psychological, all your
Those are
parameters
not
and your are
superficial
different.
differences, sir. There's
So-
no
so-
superficial differences as case talks about. Can we see that I am jealous,
Sir, your
I am
ambitions
angry, I am
are- sir,
violent?
your-
That is all.
Dinesh,
Sir,
let
your
him-
ambitions are different. My ambition are different.
Dinesh,
Your aim is
Ambition,
different.
ambition is same,
Ambition is
sir.
different.
let him
Ambition is
finish off
same.
his statement, then you can make a comment. Otherwise, we are not able to hear anyone. Let Anandji complete his statement, then Dineshji can give a response.
And even when we say, sir, I mean, that there should be freedom, do I understand that conflict is me? See, again, there is a contradiction, I don't want that.
What I
Oh,
think,
sir.
sir, if I understood the total structure of conflict, then the understanding of the total structure of conflict itself makes me free. And then I can tackle conflict in a very, I should say, in a better way. If I have
So-
not done my homework, then the question is different.
So the moment
One
I
has
say
to do his
should
homework.
tackle conflict, I'm separating. Can I see the fragmentation that I'm separating myself from conflict? The moment I say I solve, all my solutions are escapes. The moment I say I need a solution, it's an escape. Man has not solved the problem for billions of years. We still want to solve it. So
So then what do we do, sir? What do we do? Do we just talk
That-
about it intellectually, or we just be with ourselves and try to find out?
So can I look at that is the questions I'm not even looking at. I'm not even questioning it.
Sir, this is for individual to answer. You
Yeah.
can't generalize a question of this kind, and nobody can give an answer for this. I think
Yeah.
each one of us has to look into it and find an answer.
Absolutely.
Mr. Ramara wants to say something again. Yes. Please go
Sir,
ahead.
I want to add two sentences. One is that, you see, when you read about that small para, in that one thing, it touched me, that so-called the values created by society, so and so, if we take as it is as a guiding principle or in lighter mode, I think it won't be much troubles. Thank you.
I want to narrate a story which Dr. Gajanan Rao told us in one of the meetings. And he said that there was a gentleman who used to come to Krishnaji's meetings and was very regular and very sincere, would listen to him completely. So one day he asked, sir, I agree to whatever you are saying fully. But problem is I have a daughter, I have to get her married and I have to pay the dowry that is prevalent in our society and so on. So only after I get over all this, I can perhaps listen to you more clearly. Then he said, sir, don't be in conflict. Forget about all this. First of all, go and get your daughter married. So we are the one who create that conflict.
Yeah.
Why can't we just take one stand that this is what I'm going to do? Which could also be that I don't believe in Krishnamurti. I'll have my own path.
Dubey sir,
Yes.
can the conflict and freedom cannot they be remain simultaneously? One can be free at the same time in conflict also. What do you think?
Again, this is a theoretical question, but my own understanding is that if I'm free, I'm certainly there is no conflict. Freedom and conflict cannot go together.
In any relationship,
Freedom is freedom from the self. That's the
even Krishnamurti said, in relationship, one has to be infinitely pliable.
Yes.
So pliable means you have to do either compromise or you have to take some stand which may not suit to you at times.
Sir, the way I look at it, pliable means I don't have any firm ideas when I talk to you. So I'm ready to listen to you. It doesn't mean that I behave like a practical man and sometimes I agree because it profits me and sometimes I don't if it doesn't profit me. Pliable means I always do the right thing, but I'm open to listen to you. This is what pliability means. Christy was so vulnerable himself. You know, Rajgopal got him signed on anything that he wanted. Pliability means I'm ready to trust you, I'm ready to believe you, I'm ready to listen to you, but I'll do what is right. Right doesn't mean that what my religious dictates. That is right thinking, self-knowledge, all that.
Okay.
Verma Sahab, you want to say something, sir?
It's a definitely audible, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's a really very complicated. Listening to all of you, sometimes centering on the individual, totally avoiding the environment, talking of senses which are tickled by the environment, and environment is not in man's control. So our sensate values, all the senses, are unpredictably affected by environment, right? The only hope we can see clearly the slow awakening of intelligence in the medical practitioner whose psyche was clouded by multi-layers of unmindful ignorance. There is a conflict between intellect and intelligence. Like the historic hero Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, one can see the effect of the two movements in a mind at crossroads, and then the awakening of intelligence. Intelligence has its own standard. In fact, that is the standard. But we have to, man is a product of environment and genes and whatever, the entire evolutionary biology, plus, and that too, it developed in a particular environment. So there is an absolute, very close relationship between biology, environment, and psychology. So it's a mind-body relationship, as Deepak Chopra has said anything, that you are the universe. So ultimately, deciding a particular standard of living, who decides the standard, who decides right and wrong, is an individual reared up in a particular environment, in a particular atmosphere. So this is a very, very complicated question to me. How much is natural? How far it is natural when it started individual, when man started with basic food and all those things, food, shelter, and clothing. And after that, these are the main things. If you see technological development, the three areas are highly so-called developed these days. The whole industrial development is around these three things: food production and all that, plus this property and all that. So you will see this is a natural flow of nature in which psyche is developing, but who decides the standard? Like a bourgeois, most of us are moving in life, have more and more, the next step and the next step. But this awakening of intelligence is a hope, seeing a person who has led a normal materialistic life for a long, although blaming his family for that in a way, but there is a hope that intelligence will come out of me, and which is striving for peace of mind. So most of it is individual, affected by the collective. So I don't know, because as Wagmare was telling, it is to a large extent individual. I don't know much what else I have to say, but this is the reality, that man is a product of environment and gene and biology and everything is closely related, very closely related. So out of this, who creates standard? Who creates a standard that this standard is normal, this is towards abnormality and all that? So largely it's a question of individual. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much for giving me time.
Thank you, Vermaji. I think you have very rightly placed. I just want to add that, over the last 100 years, with the beginning of Industrial Revolution, we have changed so much technologically in every field we can think of. And there's nothing wrong in it. I mean, using that technology, and for example, Krishna used to travel by plane. He used to use cars. Whatever technology was available during his lifetime, he used. But it depends what place technology has in my life. We all use mobile phones because it is so convenient to get connected to people anywhere in the world. But if I stand whole night in line to buy the next model of Apple iPhone, then I think there's something wrong with me. How do I look at technology? That is very important. So I fully agree with Verma Sahab when he said that it all depends on the individual, how I look at it, how important it is in my life. But let me add, sir, in spite of all this progress in technology and science, man has basically remained the same. So the technology doesn't help us in evolving into a better person. If you look at the life of some of the very famous scientists, they had a miserable life. Their personal life was basically shattered.
That's right.
And that intelligence and compassion, Krishji at one time said that there is no intelligence without compassion. Now, how do I have it? This can only happen by pure observation. Sensitivity comes by observation, by seeing things. So we all need to have some spare time to be quiet by ourselves and ask those questions which we are raising. Why is it so? Not to find an answer, but just to stay with those questions. What does simplicity mean? What is simple living? So, like what Mark concerned about need and want and all that, and desire, who decides that need? For you, a car may be just a need. For me,
right.
So it all depends on how I look at life. So these are very subjective things, but if you look deeply into it, perhaps there is a possibility of getting an answer. This is what I can say. Yes,
Dubey sir.
Yeah.
It is very interesting. Krishnamurti said two things. One thing, you observe as Harshad sir always telling us, you observe with the freedom, and action will come from your inner self or inside, or say with the insight you take the action. On the other hand, he says that you see the fact, you see the what is, and then that fact will decide the action. And at third place, he says that this is a unitary moment. Whether you see the fact or whether the action comes from your inside, this is a unitary moment. So what you have to say, basically what Vermaji is saying, environment is also forcing me to do something. My inner desires and wishes, they are also forcing me to do something. And there are other factors, there could be another factors in relationship we are forcing me to do something. So what is the right way of thinking in this?
Sir, I don't know what is the right way of thinking. I can only comment one thing, that society has been like this all the time. Society is just a projection of what we are. But let me ask you a question. Suppose in society you have to give money to get anything done. That is the way things are happening in India right now. Do I do that? Because it's convenient. That is the question. Now, I can't answer that question for you. I have to decide that this is the way it is. I remember Kabir, he's no more now. Kabir Jaitif, he was a trustee and
Yes.
trusted foundation. He said that he needed to get a ration card made. So he went to the office of the supply officer. And supply office, as you normally know, they need money. They take bribe to do anything. So he said he demanded lots of papers and all that. Fortunately, he had carried everything, so he gave it to them. Then he said, "Okay, you come tomorrow." The next day he said, "I was too busy. I can't get it done in a day. Come after a week." And Kabir said he went on doing that for 10 weeks. And he got so frustrated that he gave the ration card to him. Now, this is one way of dealing life. For most of us, it will be, okay, so 200 rupees, give it to him, forget about it. Now, that is what you have to decide about life. You have to draw a line. Society will always put pressure on you, sir. Society has put pressure on us that we send our children to schools that prepare them for life, which is just like our life, competitive, get a job, fight all your life, earn money, build a house and die. Is this what we want our children to do? Who can ask those questions? There are no easy answers.
What Harshad Bhai has to say on this, Harshad sir?
Yeah. Many people live in the same environment, but they are different psychologically. Some are very clear, some are confused because of the environment. And so we are all unique. And some people are coming from a very young age with some kind of clarity that they know what their life is meant for. So there is something which we don't know, and Krishnaji would not accept previous life and all that. But there is something there that though we all live in the same environment, but we are different psychologically. And some people are very clear. And the one thing what I like to say about the conflict and the freedom is that, yes, people can go through conflict. Even Krishnaji at one time had conflicts in his life about his role as a teacher, world teacher. But at one time there may be a conflict, and then one can look, and then there is a freedom. So it's conflict and freedom, they are not existing together at the same time. There may be conflict, but then later on, and that conflict is not continuously day by day. There are some gaps, and in that gap, there might come this awareness. And then it is like a light. And once that is ignited, this awareness, then it can see things very clearly. But that possibility exists in all human beings, in spite of having conflict, that there is possibility of awakening of awareness. And then one doesn't need to do much. One can just look clearly what is going on.
This awareness and conflict can remain simultaneously or not?
No,
Can
not,
exist
not at
simultaneously
the
or
same
not?
time. Not at the same time. At one time, there may be conflict, let's say one day, and then there are some gaps in which there is some observation happens of this conflict from the freedom. And once such a thing happens, and we can't decide to have this kind of awareness, but it can come depending on many factors. But once this awareness comes, then it can see what thinking is doing, and then there is a freedom. Then it does no more.
Prakash wanted to say something.
Prakash
Please
ji
allow
wants-
him.
हाँ प्रकाश जी, your turn now. बोले आप.
नमस्ते सभी को। जो कृष्णमूर्ति के पास जो डॉक्टर्स आए थे और उन्होंने प्रश्न किया था कि मेरी लाइफ में मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, और वो चाह रहे थे कि इसका आंसर कृष्णमूर्ति थे। तो हर्षद भाई ने एक अभी जो है कृष्णा जी के संबंध में एक बात बताई थी कि एक कोई व्यक्ति उनके पास आया था या उनसे सलाह ली थी कि शादी करूं या नहीं करूं। तो सिमिलरली कृष्णमूर्ति के पास भी एक व्यक्ति आया था। मेरे फादर जो कह रहे हैं कि हमारे पारंपरिक रूप से जो लड़की है अरेंज मैरिज उससे करो, और वो किसी से लव करता था और वो चाहता था कि उससे लव करो, उससे शादी करो। तो कृष्णमूर्ति जी से पूछा कि मैं क्या करूं, दोनों में कन्फ्लिक्ट है। तो कृष्णमूर्ति जी ने कहा कि जो है आप जिससे लव करते हो उससे शादी करो। और बोले मदर फादर जो है नहीं मान रहे हैं, तो बोले भाग जाओ उनके साथ। तो ये जब चीज हुई और उसने उनका आंसर सुना और वो चले गया। ये किस्सा जो है अपने कंदा स्वामी जी ने बताया था सह्याद्री मीटिंग में। तो उसके बाद जो ये हुआ कि 10 साल बाद वो जो लड़का था वो मिला और उन्होंने पूछा कि क्या किया तुमने। तो उसने कहा कि नहीं, मैंने तो जो फादर ने बताया था उससे ही शादी की। तो हम जब दूसरों के पास साइकोलॉजिकल समस्याओं का समाधान लेने के लिए जाते हैं तो हमारे मन में भी कहीं ना कहीं ये रहता है कि वो कहीं एक अनकॉन्शियस लेवल पे डिसाइड कर चुका रहता है कि मुझे क्या करना है, और हम खाली पुष्टि के लिए जो है किसी के पास जाते हैं। अगर वो हमारे समर्थन में जो है वो कहता है या राय देता है तो हम कहते हैं कि हाँ हाँ कृष्णमूर्ति जी ने कहा इसलिए मैंने ऐसा कर लिया, पर हम अंदर से तो हम जो चाहते हैं वही करते हैं। तो इसीलिए मनोवैज्ञानिक रूप से भी जो आज देखें कि जो फिजिकल समस्याओं के लिए तो बहुत डॉक्टर्स है, निदान है, सब होता है, पर मनोवैज्ञानिक रूप से जो है समस्याओं के निदान के लिए कोई ज्यादा सक्सेस नहीं मिला है, साइंस को भी नहीं मिला है। जो साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं, साइकियाट्रिस्ट हैं, वो भी ज्यादा सफल नहीं हो पाते हैं। कुछ सीमा तक जो है ड्रग्स और उससे वो कंट्रोल कर पाते हैं। वो जो है मनोवैज्ञानिक रूप से जो रुग्ण रहते हैं वो उस जाल में से बहुत कम बार बाहर निकल पाते हैं। तो ये चीज हमें ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि हम वास्तव में जब डॉक्टर्स जा रहा है उसके पास तो वो ये सोचे कि मैं उनके पास क्यों जा रहा हूँ इस समस्या के समाधान के लिए, और उनसे क्यों चाहता हूँ कि वो इस बात को बताए। वो खुद अपना आत्मावलोकन करे कि वो क्या चाहता है। तो वो जो कृष्णमूर्ति की बेसिक टीचिंग्स है कि लुक एट योरसेल्फ, खुद को जानो, तो वहीं पे आपको जो है उस चीज का समाधान मिलेगा, न कि दूसरे के पास जाने से मिलेगा। मेरा यही कहना था। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Prakash ji.
रामगौड़ सर, आनंद कुछ बोलना चाह रहे हैं सर। आनंद कौर सुन।
आनंद जी बोलिए.
So my question is, when we talk about conflict, I would like to ask, I mean, does life exist without conflict? That's my question, sir.
नहीं, जैसे हर्षद भाई ने कहा कि कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो रहेंगे, पर कृष्णमूर्ति जी ने ये भी कहा है कि अगर आपके पास कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो तो क्लियर हो उसके साथ होके, और तुरंत क्लियर हो, उसको जल्दी से जल्दी क्लियर हो उस बारे में, आप उसको कैरी मत करो। कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो आएंगे आपके जीवन में कि क्या करूं क्या नहीं करूं, आपका चॉइस तो रहेगा, पर वो
एक
कह रहे हैं
मिनट,
कि
हाँ।
जब आप क्लियर हो जाओगे तभी चॉइसलेस हो।
हम्म,
चॉइसलेस का
हम्म,
उनका मीनिंग ये है कि आप क्लियर हो उस चीज में। आपने नेशनलिटीज की जो है दुष्परिणाम देख लिए हैं तो आप उससे क्लियर हो गए, आपने जातिवाद के दुष्परिणाम देखे हैं तो आप उससे क्लियर हो गए। तो वो जो कह रहे हैं वो यही कह रहे हैं कि आप जल्दी से जल्दी उस बारे में उसको छोड़ो मत, उसको पकड़ के उसको समाधान के उसको जो उस बारे में क्लियर हो, ये मेरा कहना है।
Arshad bhai wants to say. Arshad bhai, then Verma sahab.
Yeah. Yes, about whether life can exist without conflict. That is the question. Yes, I think the body has some intelligence. By life, we mean body. But when this mind comes, and then there are problems, whether I should do this or should not do that, to be or not to be. So there is a possibility of seeing this conflict through a dimension different than thinking, which Krishnaji calls awareness, and that possibility exists. And when that happens, then life becomes much more easier. There may be still conflict may be coming, but one can really look at it very clear. So I feel that yes, the whole purpose of Krishnamurti's teaching, why he went around for 60 years to talk about this awareness, because he knew that this is possible for human beings to really look at very clearly, not through thinking. And all these questions arises because there is too much thinking. Otherwise, there is just looking. Okay,
So
I finished.
when I say life is my body, how do I look at life as relationship? Not only with my body, not only with you, not only with my neighbors, not only with the country or the world, with the entire life per se. So why am I bringing it to a very small thing or minor thing and talking about my body?
Of course, we are related physically as well as mentally, of course, but not all people remain identical. It depends on how much a person is really interested in looking at everything, all these influences, even the influence of Krishnamurti. Because many people, they get influenced by Krishnamurti and they know all intellectually, but they cannot live. And so it creates lots of conflict. Even Krishnamurti's teaching can create a lot of conflict.
Can I say something here?
Let Verma sahab say something, then Dinesh ji.
Dinesh ji raised this point of whether simultaneously awareness and conflict can exist simultaneously. This is his perennial question because he has an idea that things are going simultaneously. But the observer, whether he is in that or out of that. You see, the way Anandji was asking the questioner is in life or out of life. Whether he is in life right now in a particular way or he is out of it, none of that type of life is affecting him. He is questioning out of his mind a question. So awareness of conflict is there. Awareness as conflict is not, it cannot be there. So awareness can be also colored. Awareness itself can be colored because of my conditioning. So this awareness, how many people, how many of us want to see things as they are all around us, inside, outside, everything, as they are, without any choices, just now Maheshwari, he said, choices. So unless your awareness is not colored, and it's just awareness like a matter of survival. You see, it's a natural thing in man or life. It's a natural thing in life that awareness has to be there for very survival. This survival from biology to psychology, it takes a beautiful turn. So everything we have to see what sort of awareness we are carrying right now to see and listen to so-called others and myself. My question, why am I questioning? And everything, moment to moment, why am I doing it? So this is important, whether you are ready to, whether you don't know anything, the questioner, whether he doesn't know anything, all his questions, all his queries, he doesn't know anything, probably not. He is having knowledge in most of these things which he is questioning. So that knowledge will always have dialogue, you can discussion with people, brainstorming with people, because the knowledge I consider in myself always will create problem. So awareness, what sort of quality of awareness, that can only see where the conflict has arisen. And this is the cause, and this can be, this immediately it can go away. That is what he talked about. Seeing is acting, seeing is, earlier we used to know seeing is believing, pratyaksh ko praman kya, all sorts of things. So whether we want to see it, or we want to have this also. So this is again a very complicated matter. Thank you very much for giving me time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, what I wanted to say, it is very interesting what Krishnamurti has said. He said, can there be any action without conflict? And what at last he said, if self is not, then probably there can be any action without conflict. Means self means you, what image you are having, as Vermaji said, what knowledge you are having. If you can put it aside, all that knowledge, and see the situation, see what is in his wordings, then I think probably there can be any action which will not be having conflict. That's what I think. Dubey sir.
Yes, Mr. Ramarao. Unmute yourself.
Sir, I feel that means then the seer, then the self, it is there, all colors will be there. Conflict, jealousy, coolness, relax, pleasure, pain, all will be there. No doubt at all. I'm clear about that. Thank you.
Verma sir, unmute yourself. Unmute.
Rama Raoji, the question is, all these things are there, but simultaneously they are there. At the same moment, they are there.
That depending on that, the seer is the seer sensitivity. You can say that is means like simultaneously one after that or that, but it is there. That unless until that seer, unless until there is an observer, everything will be there as a package.
Simultaneously, it can be there.
I don't know that.
Rama Raoji, interesting situation.
We'll have to find that out.
Yes.
My personal view in this is it can be simultaneously, both can exist simultaneously.
Existence, yes, okay. Existence wise, okay. But whether the knower, the observer, the feeler, the experiencer, once that fellow is there, whether simultaneously he is getting a melange of color.
One has to understand himself totally, and then only he can put aside observer for the time being.
Totally means whether this fellow is total, and there is no question. No questions are when you are total.
Okay, I put in another word, what he says, can you look at a situation holistically? In that holistical looking, I think observer cannot interfere. If your
Interesting.
observation is holistic.
Okay. Holistic means
Sir, वो
something
Durga
like
Rani
this.
wanted to. Durga Rani
Holistic
wanted to.
means
Durga Rani
something-
wanted to say something.
Let this,
Yes,
this-
Durga Rani wanted to say something.
I
Please.
know, but let this be over. This be over.
Acha, is Dinesh finished? Shall I speak, sir?
Dineshji, are you through?
Yes, I am through, sir. let Durga Rani speak.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, actually, sorry, I just got a call, so I didn't hear the previous speakers, valuable additions. But I must say, I think everybody's contributions are really nice. And I think nice, brainstorming and everything is going on. Actually, I'm appreciating that. I just would like to say, sir, without going into this observer conundrum, all these things, I think they are pretty confusing. For me, they have always been pretty confusing. Why should we bother about that observer thing only? Why? We just got the essence of the Krishnamurti. He said something, very meaningful, very useful things about us. It's not living life according to your own, pleasures and that. There is a different dimension to life. But at the same time, not to make image of anything, not to remain in conflict. If you have problem, like, previous speaker has said, sort out that conflict. What is it conflict coming from? Why is it so? Can we give all our energy to the conflict? Which area it is coming? Has one made things too complicated for oneself? These are the areas one needs to think on them. If they are not very clear, how can their actions be clear? So you can't be, traveling in two boats at the same time. So I think you have to, now we are talking about the right action, the action and the right action. Action we all do, but what is the right action? So there are no pretty norms. Krishnaji hasn't said this is the right action you follow. No, every one of us need to define for ourselves, arrive at it on oneself, and it is a perpetual process. It is not that once you have arrived at, next time you won't. You won't. The problem with us is we always want permanent solution. We want everything to be smooth and rosy, pretty. I don't think it works that way, sir. I think some practical wisdom is also necessary. Sorry, just talking like a teacher. These are my personal views, sir. So I feel rather just to get the message of the Krishnamurti, but not go into this observer whether they has reached or not. Just look at our own lives. Action has to be taken, and right action has to be taken. What one has to do about it. And I think that keeps giving more clarity to oneself, and there can be a better action next time, there can be a worse action next time, isn't it so, sir? That's all I have to say. Thank you, sir.
May I say something?
Yes, Harshad bhai, please.
Yeah, we are talking about clarity. I feel that clarity, there is intellectual clarity, and then there is a different kind of clarity which becomes the action. Like a person had come to Krishnamurti to two friends, and they said to Krishnamurti that the more we have discussed about love, the clearer it has become. And Krishnamurti asked, has love become clearer, or what you think about it? So this clarity, awareness, that it cannot be colored. It is really seeing things as they are from a dimension different than thinking. Whereas the intellectual clarity, it comes from thinking that, yes, I understand, but it may not change one's life. Even a person understand what Krishnamurti says. So that there is a different kind of clarity, not the intellectual clarity. Okay, I finished.
I mean, so the moment I say there has to be clarity, the moment I say I should end my conflict, can I see I have moved back in time, sir, back to my conditioning? Can I observe that as a question?
No, you don't say that you should be free from this or that, but you observe what is actually. And to observe that again, it requires clarity or freedom to look exactly what is happening here. So you don't say that you want to become free, because then it is a desire, it is a thinking. So you remain in that loop only, thinking loop.
I look at a flower, sir. I don't say it's very clear to me. The moment I say it's clear to me, I mean, I'm lost.
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes.
Can I see that? It's not very clear to me. That
Yes.
would be the starting point. If I know that's not very clear, then I'll go further.
That is precisely what I mean, sir. When I see a flower, I don't say it's clear. I'm just seeing it. That's about all.
Yes.
But you
The
are
moment I say
imagining,
that,
sir.
the moment I say there should be clarity, again, I'm lost. I'm back to my conditioning.
And the
Again
moment-
in time.
Yes, yes.
Right.
The moment you bring a stage to be reached, and of course, as Harshad Bhai mentioned, then you are setting a goal, you want to reach there, all those processes will come. I think we have,
And
Verma sir, you
moreover,
want-
Anand Bhai said, I can, it's all in imagination. There is no flower around him now, right now. It's all in imagination. That if I see a flower clearly, so all these things are assumptions. When you see, where is the flower? In your mind. Where is
Sir,
the
I didn't say-
clarity? In your mind.
Say, I didn't say if I see a flower. I see when I see a flower. That is one.
Then,
And two
okay,
is,
so, right.
can I observe that, what the other person is speaking, I'm immediately interpreting, sir. Can I observe my own interpretation of the other person? And when you say questioning should be there, sir. We don't question. Hinduism is only, Krishnamurti also said that it is only Hinduism in the world which says you must question. Nowhere else it is said that. So when someone questions, can I look at that? And not with a reply, not with an answer.
What do you say about it, sir?
So that is precisely what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm only questioning it. I'm questioning it. When you talk about clarity, the moment I say there should be clarity, I'm back in time. That's all I'm saying.
You are questioning and expecting what? Answers?
That's what you are saying, sir. I'm not saying that.
So what are you expecting after this question, this gap of time? What are you expecting?
I am not expecting anything, sir. I'm not expecting anything. I'm questioning. That's about all.
You are telling something out. Interesting it is.
Yes, sir. I mean, that is what it is. It's most people can't do it.
So
They
you
do
are
it with an
questioning?
intention, with a motive.
Can I ask something to Mr. Anand?
Yes, sir,
please do
please.
that.
Sir, I am seeing a flower. I am experiencing it. If I am experiencing it, things are over there itself. If I am questioning it, it means then I am back in the time. Is that what you want to say?
So we are talking about clarity. Okay. There
Clarity,
should be
clarity.
One second. When I say there must be, there should be clarity, I'm saying I look at a flower. I'm not
There
saying
should be.
if I look at a flower, I look at a flower. There's only looking there. I don't say it is clear to me. The moment I say it's clear to me, it comes to my mind, then I'm back in time. That's my point.
Yes, definitely.
That's all. Yeah.
Definitely. But what Harshad Bhai what trying to say, that's what I understood. When you see the flower and you are experiencing it, you are clear what you are experiencing, isn't it?
Sir,
There is no question of clarity.
Harshad
But when-
Bhai did agree that when you say there's clarity, that we're back in time. He agreed on that. You
Yes,
didn't seem to listen to what he said.
when you want to question what you are experiencing, then you are back in time, isn't it?
I
Come
think-
again?
Yeah.
I think
May I say?
we'll go
Yes,
to
sir.
cross
Please.
questioning. Shakti ji wants to make a last point.
Okay.
Yes.
Sachin, would you like to say something? The last line that Sachin mentioned in interview is very, very important. And I think that is something we should part with and carry with ourselves and start examining this. He says, by right thinking through self-awareness, without self-knowledge, there is no right thinking. And without right thinking, there can be no peace, no love. I explained what was involved in this arduous task. So self-knowledge is a very, very arduous task. So we can't raise a question and find an answer for self-knowledge. One has to go through that fire. This is very, very important.
Sir, this is very interesting. We can keep this subject. What is self-knowledge?
Yeah, actually,
On
self-knowledge
any
is not
Thursday.
sir, I think self-knowledge is not a permanent thing. It is changing every moment,
Moment to moment.
moment to moment.
We
My
can
self-knowledge
keep
is
this
around
subject on
20.
one Thursday, sir.
Sure, sure.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
by watch time is over, sir. Time is over.
Okay, sir.
If
There
you
is a
just look
talk-
at watch, it is over.
There is a talk on self-knowledge, interview on self-knowledge. We'll take it up one of these days. Yeah. So,
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
okay, thank you
Thank
everyone.
you.
It was
Thank
very
you,
nice.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.